Hello. Yay. We are here. Here we are. Welcome, Rihanna, Nancy. Hi, Wendy, Tony. Who else do we have that would like to say hello? Hi, Jay. Always nice to see you. Welcome, Kelly and Matt. Ginger. Hi, Molly and Jody. Welcome, BJ. Let's all take a collective breath together and cough if you need to. Hi, Dina from New York. And Jamie, I think you're also there as well, right? You can hear all the roosters? Good. Rooster joy. I love that. I'm going to claim that. I'm definitely going to claim that one. Rooster joy. Because there's many chickens around here. Cape Town, Rihanna. Awesome. So I know we've got Australia, we've got Asia. I'm in Asia. We've got Africa, we've got North America. Do we have South America or Europe here? We've got almost all the continents. Anyone from Antarctica here? Welcome, Kelly. Awesome. So yeah, it's been a week, and if you guys were here for my check-in live the other night, that was supposed to be a full live and ended up being what it was. Insight Timer had gone on vacation, and they said they sent an email about it. I don't know if I missed it or if I didn't understand that meant they wouldn't be approving live streams. So what happened last week was, I'd scheduled lives and then they didn't get approved, and then Insight Timer wasn't around, and they weren't even answering their customer service. So, yeah, there was a part of my mind making up stories and just, and I saw that. And also, I did give it a lot of power. I mean, that's what happened. And yeah, how many of you have a mind that makes up worst case scenario stories and believes them, and then, you find out otherwise, and then the mind makes you wrong for it and judges you? It's just like, oh, bless, 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 bless. Hi, Amy. I was just listening to Thich Nhat Hanh, and one of my favorite things about his message is, it's like a living meditation. Either you're sitting on the cushion or you're out in the world, and it's like breathing in. I'm breathing in, breathing out, I'm breathing out. And if you notice fear, if you notice the mind, if you notice catastrophizing or loneliness, just to be very loving towards it. And that's what he was just saying in this talk about loneliness, of like, welcome loneliness. It's okay. I care about you. You know, um, come and sit next to me. um, and so even with that pattern of, ooh, because there's a lot of judgment in my mind about how I've shown up this week in my own life, and that's one part. And it's so harsh and contracting to just be in that judgment, and then judging myself as wrong. And then it ends there. Like the old self, it would just end there. And then I would be in this state, and there would be nowhere to go from there. The good news is I've had some growth. So now there's the old pattern. And then at some point, it always happens, always, which is good. That's part of the growth. But at some point, it's like, oh, there's the worst case scenario pattern. There's the judging myself, making myself wrong for it pattern. And I can create space there, and then I can witness what's happening. I can bring compassion to it. Yeah. And also, you know, we're always doing our best, whatever that is in the moment. It's been quite a week of extremes of like flying super high, and then allowing the mind to pull me back down, and believing stories, believing thoughts, believing judgments, getting into fear. So some of y'all can relate. Yep, it is. It's a struggle. I've recommitted to a meditation practice of just like silence. It's like Muji style. Muji is all about just empty mind, empty mind. And not that, well, empty yourself and witness the mind, and just don't get caught up in it. And this morning, I was just like, whoa, the mind is just doing its thing. And I judged myself. I saw the judgment of I'm not meditating good enough. It's too hard. Like, I can't do this. I'm not doing it right. How can I be meditating for 10 years and this is my meditation today? But that's the fact that I can see that is the growth, is the victory. So, at the end of the day, we've just, like, one of my favorite mantras, like, when things get into these places, is just like, it's okay. Like, can I be okay that I'm not okay in this moment right now? Can I be okay that I'm not okay? And that can open a door to space for peace, like, no matter what. And I didn't think of that one in my meditation, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, the Aurora Borealis stuff, maybe, Ginger. Is that the space weather? Ooh. It's like whatever works to help us to make sense of it all. So, hi Marielle, hi Val, hi Faye. Yeah, so that's me lifing. And good news is we've got some live streams rescheduled. So we're going to be doing, it came up in a live last week about tarot. So that's going to be super fun. So if anyone has cards and they want to, just dive deeper into working with cards of any kind, please join me for my tarot live stream. Yeah, we're just going to go into some basics of reading cards. I've been reading cards for 9 years, and so I know something about it. And of course, I read here. I've also got a Conversations with God live scheduled and a Bali anniversary live. I think that's tomorrow. So I'm in Bali, if y'all don't know. Is anybody brand new to me? Um, I am in Bali and I'm an American. And I left the US 11 years ago. My 10-year Bali anniversary, where I first landed in Bali, a life-changing day, was 10 years ago, like tomorrow. So I scheduled a live stream about that. I'll share, part of that journey. Because, everything is a spiritual journey. Awesome, Molly. Glad you're here. And yeah, so stay tuned for further live streams. I'm a spiritual life coach and Reiki Master Teacher. 10 years ago, I was neither of those things. So I have evolved in many, many ways. And not, that self 10 years ago was worthy and perfect and amazing, perfectly imperfect with my job that I had then and who I was then. Hi, Patty Lou. Glad to have you. So, check out my meditations here on Insight Timer. Stay tuned for more additions and offerings in my meditations. I have 2 premium tracks if you're a premium member. They're Ancestral Clearing. I have 1 free Ancestral Clearing track that's amazing, the Master Prayer. I have a premium one called the Comprehensive Abundance Prayer. I have a new premium track called Total Surrender. Jamie, you said you've read 2 of Singer's books this week. So Michael Singer, we're big fans here in this space of Michael Singer. So my meditation, Total Surrender, is inspired by him because that's what he's about, is surrender. And even thinking about this week, of course, I do my best to live all the wisdom and knowledge that I learn. And also at the end of the day, it's about in the moment, when I'm suffering, when I wake up from identification with thoughts and stories, how will I work with myself? And there's been some moments where I've had the head awareness. I've had Michael Singer in my head. He talks about relaxing and releasing. He talks about being committed to staying conscious. He talks about, just becoming and having such a commitment to that when the mind is trying to sweep us away, when the emotions in the heart, feel very intense, that we have it within us, and it's a choice that we get to practice of, being the witness and the observer and being present for that and relaxing behind all of that, and be not allowing the mind, getting swept up in stories of the mind. And just being present with, the energetics in the heart, in the body, in the present moment. And even knowing all of that, yesterday, a moment's coming up where it was just contraction, pain body, as Eckhart Tolle would say, was active. And even I couldn't think my way out of it. And that's when somatics come into play. And we just do our best, and everything changes, everything changes. And Singer talks about that. He's like, if your house burned down 10 years ago, it's not burning down now. If somebody was yelling at you 5, weeks ago, they're not yelling at you now. Everything changes. So we just, do our best. Awesome, Jamie. Hi, Rose. So, Jamie, are you talking about the Michael Singer live stream? So I did like a teaching like a deep dive into Singer's teachings last week, and that is up on my YouTube channel. So please follow me here, follow me there. If you want to catch my replays, they are all there for the past number of months. So you can catch those. And I'm glad that was helpful because, it's a lot of information. And yeah, for me, sharing that Michael Singer information was really dense, and so I'm glad that it was inspiring. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, because whatever story, just glad for that. Angela, did I already say hi to you? Please give a donation here through Insight Timer if you feel called. Always appreciated. You can find out more about me on my website, on my Facebook, Instagram. If it's interesting for you to follow me and my stories, and I just post what's in my world externally wherever I am, as well as memes and things that resonate, and then things like that. I also am in the middle of polishing and creating my 8-week group program on money mindset starting June 1st. I'm super excited about this. It's going to be so powerful for those who are ready to let go of their old way of life, of being in lack and scarcity, and being in limited mindsets around money, and having a certain energy around money, being in fear, being in contraction, feeling powerless over your finances, feeling anxiety, feeling like not knowing where the next dollar is coming from, or it's never enough, and feeling like it's outside of your control, and just, that old saying, scrimping and pinching to make ends meet. Where did that come from? Who else knows that? Scrimp and pinch to make ends meet. Is that American? Is that something else? I don't know. But that's for me, that's a childhood program. My parents or my grandparents or somebody must have been saying that shit. And that, that's what we get programmed with. So the Money Mindset program is going to be a group container. We're going to be using the book Overcoming Under Earning as the base curriculum, as well as other teachings, that I'm drawing in. It's going to be life-changing if, you're ready. It's going to take action. It's going to take doing the uncomfortable. And that's how change is, right? So I was thinking about this week as well. I'm very human in my perfect imperfection. And, I have my own life coach, which I believe that nobody needs a coach, but everybody can benefit from one. And me as a life coach, I have one because it's kind of like in AA, of which I am a member. It's like every sponsor needs a sponsor. If you have a sponsor and they don't have a sponsor, you probably should have another sponsor. It's the same with life coaching. And so, I have the support. I do work on myself, of course. This is the spiritual journey is a way of life, this journey of awakening and overcoming the self and creating ourselves as to who we want to be. And also, I'm lazy sometimes. I don't take action sometimes. I do things that aren't good for me, or I don't do things that I should do, like all of that stuff. And I've had some moments come this week where I'm just like, no more. I'm done with these old ways of being. I'm done with feeling this way and knowing I create my reality. Um, and so there's been this shift happening inside of me of like next level of commitment, next up leveling. And what I realized or re-realized is it takes action. The only way to create results is to take action. Yes, we can dive into thinking about it, analyzing it, you know, all of that stuff. And the most important thing is doing the thing. And usually it's the thing that makes that we're uncomfortable doing and we don't want to do. So one of those things for me this week, and I don't know if I shared about this on a live stream, but um, for years here in Bali, where I've been living, I have had this idea to put up flyers about my services. In case anybody around here wants to have a session with me. Years ago, it was just meditation. That's where I started. I was a meditation teacher and guide, and that was, my only offering. And I was a Reiki practitioner, but I wasn't really using it. So, but I had this, this fantasy, this idea, like put flyers up around. And, I got in the way. I made up excuses, whatever, justified, unjustified, it doesn't matter. The point is, I never took action on it. And even when I came back to Bali a year ago, I was like, I'm doing it this time, and I didn't do it. And it's not about good, bad, right, and wrong. It's just about that's what happened. I had this intention and I didn't follow through. And I'm back in Bali again now, and that idea came back again, and I'm just like, I have to do this. It's not even about like whatever happens if somebody contacts me or books a session. It's not even about that as much as it is that I take the action to do what I've said I was going to do and what I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's not even that difficult. So I did it. I created a flyer, and the action steps were, okay, what service do I want to offer? Okay, let me go into Canva. Let me create a flyer. Let me then go to the print shop, print a test copy. Okay, that looks good. Print me X number of these, laminated. How can I hang them up? I need to buy tape. I need to buy thumbtacks. Where do I hang them? Okay, let me think about all the places around town where I see all of these flyers everywhere. Make a list of those places and then actually go to one of those places and put the thing on the wall. So I did all of those steps. And I broke those down so you can see. It's just like that first baby step of even opening Canva to create the flyer. That's where, it started with the idea and the intention, but that first tiny baby step was opening a website, opening a new document, and that's it, really. So I want y'all to think about in your own life. Because we all have these dynamics happening. Where are there things where it's like been on your list forever, or maybe it's something new. And then, for me, it's like, then I beat myself up that I don't do it. And I use that as, a way to make myself wrong. So if that's happening, that's okay. but what is it for you? And you don't have to share it, but just think about what's that thing, whatever's coming to mind for you that you, as I'm telling this story, you can relate. And then what would be the first tiny thing? Like for me, it was sitting at my computer and opening a new tab and opening Canva and opening a new document. So these mini micro steps led me to now I have put up maybe 7 flyers. Wow. And it's like who I'm becoming in the process of that. Right? And the other part of this is an act of self-love because it's requiring self-discipline. When I sit in inaction, when I sit in procrastination, when I sit in fear, that's my comfortable or my uncomfortable comfort zone. And I've sat there for years around different things. As I said, even this small example. So it's about like who I've become even in this. I am a different person on the other side of me putting up flyer number 1. So, and then, that old energy of, oh, I'm not doing it. And then that old judgment, that's gone around that thing. I've now become a person who has, this flyer up around town. If somebody reaches out, great. But that's not even the most important part. So, and this is all like what I help people with, part of what I help people with, or a lot of what I help people with, depending on the client in my life coaching. And with my own coach, I set goals and then have accountability about it. If I tell somebody else I'm going to do something, I'm much more likely to do it. So that story wanted to come out. And then the thing is now that momentum's built. Like I also did something I used to do a few years ago when I first started coaching and I was really taking a lot of actions. I would make a list of goals the night before for the next day. And they could be very simple or not, whatever. It could be big, could be small. I did that again. It felt so good. And then it was part of it was the flyer stuff. And then the next day, like I had this checklist and I marked it off and I did it. And just that feeling of accomplishment is so powerful. So what is it for you, And then the reason I brought this up too is around this money mindset program that I'm launching June 1st. There will be actions to take just like that. And the thing is, that has a potential to create income. But, if I just sit in the problem and sit in judging that I'm not doing something and wishing I would have done it and not doing it, there's a payoff in that too. The payoff is I get to be right about who I believe myself to be up until now. Oh, Natalie, it's an energetic thing. Can anybody relate to this? It's like when I don't do the thing or I break my word to myself. Oh, I'm not going to eat carbs today, or I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go walking at sunset today, or blah, 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 whatever. And then I do it or I don't do it. When I break my word to myself, there's this feeling inside again of like a pain body energy, or It's a lower vibrational energy, very simply. And that's that contracted self, that old self, the parts that are, not evolving with the bigger part that is. It's like this energetic sense of who I believe myself to be in a less than loving light. And then I get to be right about that. And then it's this cycle. So these small actions, it's like quantum. That whole flyer example, it's a quantum leap. And just, that feeling of putting up that first flyer and that feeling of accomplishment. And it doesn't even, I don't even need to tell anybody about it. I don't even need to tell you. I don't need to tell my coach. It's just, I did it for me. And I followed through on my word. So, if I have a money goal, say, I'm going to be a millionaire, it starts with me opening the Canva website, right? And whatever all the actions are that I want to take towards my money goals, let's say, it's about never stopping. Just never stopping. I mean, this flyer thing is just one step, towards me up-leveling my financial abundance. It's not I'm not just going to sit and let that be enough. There's many other pieces and parts and steps, which in the money mindset program, there's a 5-step process, and that's what we're going to be doing. So actually the other part of, that around the money is actually looking at your finances. So how many of you are vague about money and don't even really know how much you might have in your account, or know how much debt you might have, and you just kind of go around spending with your eyes closed and hoping there'll be enough and it'll work itself out somehow? Can anybody relate to that besides me? So being in that don't know, then again, it's that same kind of contracted place of, it's disempowering. And so part of, cleaning up our relationship with money is actually getting clear on what's true and what the facts are. And so yesterday I did that. I looked at my incomings and my outgoings and my projected and all of that. And it was, not where I wanted it to be. We'll just put it that way. And it was confronting. It was necessary. It was humbling. And it was painful. There was some pain about it. And it's necessary because it's the truth. It's like breaking denial. And so that's part of, the motivation. I always say this, in order to make a change, you have to be aware first, right? A fish that lives in water doesn't know water exists until, it's taken out of the water. Then it has an awareness for the first time of what water was when it is removed from it. So if there's no awareness, there's nowhere to go. So having awareness, knowing, okay, these are my numbers on paper in my account. These are the assets, these are the debits. Then I know where to go and what's here. So I'm kind of talking about different things. And I trust that you're receiving what is resonating, which I'm seeing in the comments. So did I say hi to EI? Marielle is setting goals. Awesome. So setting, again, it's like setting the goal is the, a part, and then what's the nano action, and taking a nano action every day. Thank you, Sophia. Jamie, that's a great point. Subconsciously, I feel if I don't do the thing, I'll be safer. That is so true. And that's part of, what we're going to work on in money mindset, and also part of whatever you can do with yourself. It's about the nervous system work as well. Kate Northrup, I just took her free 3-day money thing to launch. She has a paid course she just launched. But even the free information was awesome, because it's about, like, it's all tied to our nervous system. So we get to regulate that. Jody, Deb. Hi, Deb. Perpetuating what I don't want myself to do. Angela doesn't know their budget. So when we stay in that old pattern, then there's a negative payoff. We get to be right about who we think we are, and then it's like, well, I always do that. I never follow through on my goals. Then you get to be right about that. And then you get to not take action. And then you get to sit in your problem and be a victim and be disempowered and stay in the problem. And it's not about making yourself wrong for that either, or that you're not good enough or you're not worthy. It's not about that. It's about just coming at it from a place of neutrality and being like, okay, this is what's here. How well has that worked for me? If you love your results in your life, then great, it's working. If you don't love the results in your life, then it's not working. And then you get to ask yourself, have I had enough? Am I in enough pain? How much longer, if nothing changes, how much longer do I want to re-experience the past? Because if nothing changes, you will continue to experience your past again in your future. There's got to be a moment inside of you. Steve Hardison, my favorite coach, and others, I'm sure, call it a personal internal commitment. There's got to be some click, some shift inside where it's just like, no more. And nobody can facilitate that ultimately but you. And that's like what's happened to me this week, which is great. Because there's, places in my life where I want different results. So, Deb, you did the work on this negative payoff. Awesome. So the work is the work of Byron Katie, which is amazing if anybody doesn't know it. So if you want help with any of this or support, coaching is the perfect container to work with everything that I'm talking about. Either one-on-one, you can reach out about that. We can have a conversation. And also, if it is specifically around money for you, if you struggle around that, then, I have this group offering starting June 1st, and I still have some openings. So reach out if that's interesting. We're going to draw some cards now. I'm going to go with Work Your Light for the main message. Don't y'all love my new view? I love whenever I'm staying in places where I have a nice view for my clients and my live streams. Okay, I missed it. Here we go. Ooh, birthing a new age. Birthing new creations. Dreaming a new world into being. You can't make this shit up. Basically, this is a synopsis of everything I was just saying. Am I right? Birthing new creations. Dreaming a new world into being. So first you have to have a vision of where you want to go, right? Yes, having the goals and things. And also, first, having a clear vision, like a number for your money goal, or if it's weight, having a weight goal or a measurement goal or a relationship goal or, some other health goal or anything, right? You've got to know where that is. And, dreaming it into being could be looked at as visioning it into being. So that's where the law of attraction, the manifestation stuff comes in, where, you get to embody the energy of the you that is experiencing the thing you want now. So, like in my little flyer example, if I wanted to have done it with that, I could have, sat quietly and visioned myself, imagined myself as I'm putting the first flyer on the thing at the cafe, or after I've done that and I've come home and I feel that sense of accomplishment, of feeling that in the body now as if I've already done it. How does that feel? Or if it's, I'm married to my perfect partner, or I have X amount of money in the bank, or I'm in that position at the job I want. You want to feel into it from a place that you're coming from, that the event's already occurred and you are the person experiencing that now. Dream storming. I like that. So that's what this says, dreaming a new world into being. So Joe Dispenza, one of my other main teachers, this is what all of his realms that he works in. So what do you want to birth? I mean, if you're hearing this live, if you're seeing the replay, this is an invitation for you. And, a question I love to ask, if not now, when? How much longer are you going to wait? It's time for a rebirth. It's time for transformation. This is the death card. So take this energy. I know Ginger mentioned the space weather. That's what this reminds me of. Take this energy now. It's going to require death of the old self for you to create a new results and a new life. You're going to have to do different things, and it's going to require you to take actions that are uncomfortable. Letting go of things, that thing you need to let go of, that person, that job, that car, that whatever. This is the process of transformation. So this is what's here for you to support you. It's not going to be easy, but who you become on the other side of it is going to be totally worth it. And you're supported. Look at you in the middle here. And connecting with source, getting the support. I mean, so often the messages in here are about support, are about boundaries, are about community. Awesome, Marielle. Opening up. So letting yourself be seen. Putting yourself out there. in this money mindset program that I'm creating, and in the book Overcoming Under Earning that we're using, it says, nobody can do this for you, but you don't have to do it alone. And that's a really powerful paradox and concept. Nobody can do this for you, but you don't have to do it alone. So even with letting go of shyness and opening up, nobody can do that for you. But also, you don't have to do it alone, and you can get support. Hi, Andrea. So, Ace of Wands. Great. So this is what's supporting you, birthing a new age in your own life, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. It's going to require death of the old self, old beliefs, old ideas, old paradigms. And this is the deepest work you can do. And don't worry, like, you're going to be inspired. You're going to have new ideas. Passion and creativity. You know, once you focus on what you're gaining, instead of being more focused on what you're giving up and letting go of, but where you're going and where you're visioning yourself into, you're going to be sparked with new inspiration, passion, vision. So, like, don't, because this, you know, the death card, a lot of people think, and it makes sense because it's called death, it's like, oh, it's just a death and that's it. No. It doesn't end here. And even as it says on this card, rebirth. There's a rebirth, and in this rebirth is this, the birthing. Even that's funny. It says birth on this card and birth on the other card, y'all. Ooh, yeah, butterfly is the perfect symbol of transformation. And the butterfly is like my insect animal, my spirit animal in a sense. Mm-hmm. Awesome, Angela. Yeah, so I would offer just something to play with around languaging. And I know Angela is not the only one that says they can't afford things. You know, it's a very normal thing to say. But rewording that from I can't afford it to I'm choosing not to pay for that, or I'm choosing not to invest in that right now. Because can't afford is a very disempowered energy, right? So I love that you've made the choice that you will not invest into her program, and also that you're in creation and you're in growth mindset and you're in possibility, that you found other services that they offer that you can utilize. So that's a perfect example. Amazing. And we can't do it alone. Another example of that, Angela. Thanks for that. You know, our ability to change all alone by ourselves, yes, it's possible. And also, when you involve community or support in like mentoring, coaching, therapy, whatever it is, or if you have friends that you're like accountable to, or you're like on a journey together with, 12-step programs, that's why, you know, they work so well. It's a community, group coaching programs, etc. We've got to use community. And it's very easy, and I mean, I'm guilty of this as well, to just isolate, try and do it all by myself, do it alone. it doesn't, I mean, I wouldn't be alive if I tried to do that with my alcohol and drug addiction. I got clean and sober in community. I would be dead without that community. 12 step, it's got different elements. It's got the 12 steps, but it's not just somebody going alone doing those 12 steps by themselves. No, not at all. So we've got to have community. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. This is community, yes. So this is great. And also, there gets to be more. If you connect, I know a number of you connect within and amongst yourselves, which is amazing. And, it's better than nothing. And also, there's still more. Having a rich community where you can be seen, and Marielle, where you can open up, where you can come out of your shyness. And you're also, hi Britt, did I say hi? Marielle also on a weight releasing journey, awesome. So, and I think you said emotional eating. So there actually is a 12-step program for that. I don't know if that's for you, but that is there. In this day and age, there's really no excuse to not have community. It's only fear. It's not about the resources not being available. Like, period. It's about the fear and the resistance and the not wanting to at the end of the day. So awesome, Marielle. If you want to reach out to me, I can share more about the resources. Hi, Laura. Yeah, asking for help. How many of you have a hard time asking for help? Love what you said, Ginger. The problem becomes an opportunity. I mean, there are no problems. Yeah. Dina, yes, the blue zones. Totally. And I live in Bali. So, and actually where I'm living right now, I guess you can call it a homestay. So Balinese people within themselves, like, it's amazing. And we don't have that in the U.S. because it's just not how our country was formed, because our country was, it's a very new country. But here in most places, it's like you grow up and you all live together. You live, like, nobody moves out or moves away, really. So here, there's generations. It's like grandparent, like there's this really old Balinese woman, plus, the man my age, and plus the younger, like, there's probably like 20 people that live in the Balinese compound, that they're the family, they're the brothers, they're the whatever. And then they've built behind it this bungalow that I'm staying. And so it's a source of income, So I've got to walk through this beautiful, compound every day, and they never move. Like, unless somebody gets married off, like, your people are born right there and they never leave, ever. They never move. Like, to me, that's mind-boggling, and I'm sure for many of you. But just even think of the community of that. That's why I brought it up. So, and what happens, the more isolated we get, Deb says they're more disconnected. Yeah, the more isolated we get, there's got to be a moment that's part of this death and rebirth. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You've got to get support. You've got to create community. So some of you do have problems asking for help. And I've heard that, like, being super independent's a trauma response. And that may be true. And also it doesn't mean that you can't, but just, okay, noticing where that may come from. Yeah, asking for help is like admitting failure. So, I mean, there's networking groups, there's meetups, there's so many things. So, it's not about the availability of the support for anyone anywhere at this point in time. I mean, we've proven that with COVID and with Zoom and with online connections. It's about the willingness to be uncomfortable. Even so we can even go back to like taking the first baby step. What would the first baby step be for any of you, no matter where you are, to find a community or find people to connect to? It'd be opening a web page or whatever and doing a search and seeing what's there. Would be the very first step. So you can even keep it that simple. If you're like super scared or resistant, to be like, okay, it doesn't mean I have to do anything, but I can do I can open a tab on my browser and I can put search terms in and press send, enter, and see what's there. I can click on a link. And just taking those steps. Hi, seeds. Yeah, and to even first, the awareness, Angela. So the awareness that support is missing and could be valuable. And then the admitting to self, okay, support is missing. I want to create that. Amy, yeah, I know you've mentioned the choir. That's awesome. So yeah, it could be anything. But, there's no excuse to not find a community if you want to. It's not about the how to, it's about the want to. That's with anything. With weight loss, with creating abundance, with finding community. It's not about the how to, it's about the want to. So I want you to get really clear on that. And if you don't want to enough, then you can have the results that you have in your life. But then there'll be an awareness of, oh, I'm choosing this. And not to make yourself wrong about it, but just like a noticing. That's even empowering, because we think, oh, well, I can't do it. There's no community. But then you don't even look, and then you're able again to be right, and then sit in the problem and not do anything. Awesome, Deb. Yeah, Eventbrite or Meetup, if that's still a thing. You're welcome, Marielle. Thank you for speaking up. Yeah. So I'm going to get one more Light Seer card. So it's just about like opening your mind, being open to possibility. I mean, look at this. This is like open to possibility. The possibility's there. Awesome, Nancy. Awesome, Rose. Great. Yes. So nobody can do this for you, but you don't have to do it alone. I want you to write that one down in your mind or on your phone or on paper. You know, it's going to require walking away. What do you need to walk away from? What do you need to let go of? What ways of being are no longer serving you? I mean, I can tell you it's not serving you to sit in the problem. And I mean, I just gave an example of me taking some action out of that. So I'm not like, I can relate and identify. I'm not judging you for it. And also, I'm being tough love here and saying that. Because we get into this victim mindset and then we just feel stuck. But we're the only ones doing it to us. So, you know, ultimately nobody can walk this journey for you. You've got to walk it alone and also with others. So it's sort of a paradox. And it, you know, it's about creating yourself anew. And there'll be pieces and parts of you that you may need to mourn letting go of, and that's okay. Or work with it. It's the wounded child. Work with that part that's like scared and doesn't want to. It's like the kid that's scared to go to the first day of school or a new school, right? Scared of the unknown. So, you know, the empowered parent and the loving parent is like, it's okay, sweetie, and this is what we're doing. So you get to do that with yourself. What are you walking away from? What do you get to walk away from that's no longer serving you? And again, it could be something like tangible on the outside, or it could be all these old patterns and beliefs and paradigms and programs and ways of being. I mean, this is the journey of change and transformation. You know, and how many of you have made major changes and, you know, people are threatened by it, or they judge you, or you lose connections. You know, when you change, everything changes around you. I mean, the perfect example is like for me, like getting clean and sober. And of course, that's the biggest thing we say. Like, you can't go back to your old drinking buddies. I mean, it's the same thing with this too. If the people around you are constantly in the problem, constantly complaining, constantly making excuses, if they're broke, if they're miserable, and if you look, you know, we're the sum of the people we spend, 5 people we spend the most time with. If those people are in that energy, well, it's going to be hard for you to change. So when you get that new support, that new community, that upliftment, when you start making these changes, birthing a new creation, birthing a new age, deciding, you know, we can't wait for anybody. You've got to let go of any waiting. Are you waiting for something or someone to save you? Are you waiting for your, you know, mommy to come or daddy to come and tell you everything's going to be okay, or parent you in the way that you didn't get? Like, we've got to work with and let go of that part that's still waiting for something or someone to save us. Again, with the paradox that we don't have to do it alone either. So when you do this, people and things will fall away. When you change, and it's not like you have to be like, you might need to actually boldly walk away, but it might just be like, it's a falling away. Like with my job, y'all, many of you know my job story. Like, I vibrated out of that job. The old Natalie had that job for 12 and a half years. When I made deep inner transformative changes, I didn't even have to quit my job. I quit, but they basically not made me, but sort of, y'all know. So lost connection with your mom, Ginger. Yeah, outgrowing people, outgrowing jobs. I outgrew that job. So, yeah. So, don't get too bogged down in your head, guys. The mind can be, you don't want to be in there too long alone. So that's when all the mindset stuff comes in. So stay out of your head and take the actions, as Seed says. Great, thank you. Awesome. So now we're going to do some Reiki and Ancestral Clearing to wrap the session up. And this is too, when community helps with Angela, like living, when we're alone and isolated, like we're just in our damn heads all the time. That's not good. What created the transformation for me was being in service, getting deeply into service work in 12-step, and getting the fuck out of myself and out of my fucking head. Seriously. And do whatever you need to do that in the moment. Yesterday when that energy was up, I walked for an hour, and I slammed it, and it helped. Dance breaks, somatic, I also did vagus nerve. Wait, I need to refresh my memory on. I did something called helionic breathing, which is like a somatic thing. So it's not about like a lack of knowledge about or accessibility to knowledge. So, and then we get to overcome our mind, we get to overcome ourselves to where, the mind becomes a beautiful servant instead of a terrible master. So, is anybody here for the first time for Reiki and Ancestral Clearing? I'm going to take a moment as we transition to the next part of the session and take a bathroom break just for a minute, like 1 minute, literally. So during that time, I want y'all to also, like, if you need to do that, but come right back and feather your meditation nest, your space, get comfy, ready to receive. So awesome, Kelly, Sophia, and Lisa in the UK. Yeah, and I'll do a little bit of explaining about what we're about to do for those that are new. And I will be right back. Great question. So it'll be about 10 minutes, I'd say minimum. Yeah, maybe 15 max. It really just depends on how deep we go. So something like that. Yeah, and if you fall asleep, that's great if you want to. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, nice view. So is everybody settled? So if you want to receive the Reiki, just have the intention internally that you want to receive it, and also for the ancestral clearing. You can have an intention if you would like for, what you want to create or receive through this. And also, as I always say, releasing that, knowing your higher self knows what's higher and best. The ancestral clearing I will do some specific ancestral clearing silently around like all of the dynamics that came up in the session today around change and growth and transformation and taking action and all of that stuff. And also general ancestral clearing, as I always do. And again, if you're new to that, if you like it, you can always listen to my meditations. The Master Prayer is the free one on the free part of Insight Timer here in my meditations. If you want to listen to the premium track, it's on abundance specifically. And don't forget to follow me as well. I'll just say that before we dive in. If you don't already, it really helps. I appreciate it. Here, also YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Check out my website. And two, this is a big invitation for you today to take action if you're ready. And if if you want a coach to help you do that, reach out to me or somebody. It doesn't have to be me. But if you resonate, feel the heart call, send me a message. We can have a conversation, see if we might be a good fit. And also, as I've talked about, the group money mindset program, if you're ready to create massive changes and take massive action to create abundance. And that starts June 1st. I have a couple spots there as well. I'm also a Reiki Master Teacher, so I do offer Reiki training if you'd like to be able to do Reiki on yourself or others. I also offer that. So let's do this. Anybody have anything else? And I think I've said too, if you want to give a donation, if you do it here in the live, Apple gets 30%. Insight Timer's trying to fight that, as most all of us know. I think if you do it outside the live, just in my profile, I get 100%. So, and I also do these sessions one-on-one. I do tarot one-on-one and the Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. I do a very powerful one-on-one process live. So, if that's interesting to you. All right. So everyone is settled in. So let's close the eyes. Please put your technology down. Give yourself the gift of your full attention and presence right now. Let the rooster joy be a mindfulness and bell to presence. And just settle into the body, feel the weight of the body on the surface you're on. Notice the breath. Notice the beautiful mind. And whatever is there, if there's anything less than love, just You can say to it, "It's okay, mind. I welcome you." If you notice fear, worry, loneliness, anything, you can invite it to sit next to you and say, "I'll take good care of you." Whatever those parts that are afraid, angry, lonely, sad, I'll take good care of you right now. And feel that. So interesting, this wonderful rooster joy is happening right in our meditation Reiki time. And he's getting closer and closer. So there's a message for you. What message does the rooster have for you today? One message is, don't take yourself so damn seriously. Don't take everything so seriously. Bring in more play and fun and lightness. Presence. Play is essential. I'm also going to use Solvana energy, which is a powerful energy I'm attuned to as well for transformation. It's perfect for our live stream today to bring about awakening, third eye expansion, opening, and inner and outer transformations. You may notice that as a blue energy for those of you that can pick up on that sort of a thing. For some of you here, I'm getting the message around creating the community that looking into laughter yoga will be powerful for you. I'm going to now bring in some ancestral clearing. So just open yourself, continue to surrender, relax, release, let go. Open yourself to these healing energies and clearing. Infinite Creator, source of all that is, we love you. Thank you for loving us. We humbly ask that you open, bless, expand, lead, guide, and direct us into your perfect light, love, and life, and always, completely, now and forever. Please and thank you. For everyone hearing my voice right now, all of our family members, all of our relationships, all of our ancestors, and all of their relationships through all relevant time, space, and dimension. For all hurts, wrongs, judgments, and burdens, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, and financial, through thought, word, or deed. Please help us all forgive each other, forgive ourselves, forgive all people, and all people forgive us completely and totally, please and thank you. Infinite Creator, for the highest good. Please lift out all weight, pain, burden, sin, death, debt, negativity, spells, hexes, curses, black magic, white magic, guilt, fear, shame, unworthiness, and limitation of all kind. Transform it into your love and let your love flow back in and through us, filling and giving us all complete peace now and forever. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. Please help us love and bless each other, love and bless ourselves, be at peace with each other and at peace with ourselves. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. So taking a deep breath in. If you are in the middle of a process, allow yourself to continue in that process. Honor the process. If you feel like you're deep in the energy, don't force yourself out. Let it continue as long as is needed. If you do feel you're ready to return to a wakeful state, you can slowly, gently, easily do that. And if you do choose to come back and open your eyes, just pause and integrate before re-engaging with the outside, feeling into the body with eyes open. Hi, Summer Star. Yes, the roosters. Hi, Sunrise. Yeah, we'll need to look up spirit animal rooster, which is going to be a theme the whole time that I'm living here, which likely will be a long time. So, thank you all so much for joining. I will be going live again very soon. If you follow me, you'll be notified of the lives as they're scheduled. Also join my group here, Natalie's Healing Circle. We can keep in touch that way. Hi, Joanne. And don't forget, you can catch all my replays on YouTube. Subscribe there, follow here, donate, follow on Facebook, Insta, check my website. Oh yeah, Mother's Day. Ooh, I wish I would have remembered that. I would have done a live on that, and that's okay. Not meant to be. Hi, Louise. For me, and I know I'm not the only one, that's a loaded topic. So yeah, all those who are mothers or parents, however you choose. Thank you all. Let's just see when I go live again. Oh, and I will have my birthday in 1 month from today. FYI. Oh yeah, so live in 24 hours. Yeah, 24 hours from this moment, we will start. Wow, synchronistic. So yes, see you in exactly 24 hours from now. Thank you, Kelly, for the rooster knowledge. Increase fertility. Optimism, yeah. And I love Ginger said rooster joy. Ooh, awesome, Louise. Thank you, Deb, Marielle. Yeah, and then the next day I will be doing the tarot live at 11 p.m. Eastern time, so a little bit later. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, and then live again. Well, I'm talking in Bali times. It's going to be your nighttime, whatever I just said. If you follow me, it'll be in your own time zone. So stay tuned. You're welcome. This was awesome. Thank you all so much. So grateful. That was one takeaway from last week when the lives weren't being approved, and I was like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to be able to go live again? Like how much I love it here with you all, and grateful, and took it for granted, and that's okay, and not doing that. Okay, much love. See you all in 24 hours.